Oh my God, look at that. Mr. Kieran McGarry in the house first tonight. Radar Fletcher in behind him. XAN biker Dennis Stauber. Big D checking in from Marengo, Illinois. Robin Hingabottom in with us behind Rudy's Fairing. Boom! Steve Broyles, what's up from Detroit? Annie is here. What's up, Annie? Flake Paint and Design in the house. Bagger Bader. Tomcat is here with us. What's up, Tomcat? Good to see you, buddy. Evil Rick. Hey, everybody. It is time for America's first and favorite two-wheel motorcycle talk and entertainment show, Shop Talk, going live in just 3.5 minutes with a killer episode. The secret's out. You guys know what's up. You've been seeing those S&S ads where we say, shh. Well, we know what the deal is now. There's 6 builders building 6 incredible motorcycles, getting ready for Daytona. They are all in the house with us here tonight. We're going to be talking motorcycles from start to finish. Craig Ferry in the house with us. Big Will, what's up, buddy? Gary's in the house. Gary Rayfuel. Happy Groundhog Day. That's right. But Gary, it's even a better day than that because it was Gary's wedding day. Congratulations, my man. So far out. Rob Miller, good evening from Western Pennsylvania. Oh, my hometown. 2.5 minutes. We're going live with this one. That's just enough time for you to kick back, relax, get something cold to drink, get ready for Shop Talk. But hey, remember, sharing is caring. Send a little message out to your friends and neighbors. Let them know we're going live with Shop Talk in just a couple minutes here. You can set your alerts, copy the feed, send it over to your social. Get ready. Salty Badger told you he was late fonding the S&S catalog with the pages. Yeah. Did somebody post that? Son of a bitch. All right, we're going live with this one in just 2 minutes, man. Don't go anywhere. You're about to be watching Shop Talk live every night from the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Shop Talk, getting ready. You know, this is a real treat for us, man. If you guys, anybody that's been in this for a while knows that, like, S&S always puts the show on. And it's been a while. It's been a while, man, but they're bringing back the heat. It's coming to Daytona. It's coming to Donnie Smith. It's going to be at Born Free, at the Sturgis pre-party here in Mitchell, South Dakota, and out to Sturgis. You're going to get a chance to see 6 of the most amazing bikes built with their vintage line, and we're talking about it all tonight. Hey, Paul Adams, Ford City in the house. John Palmer, my own hamster brother from out in central Pennsylvania. Becky Quivers-Arling, Charlie Chopper Gilmore, Vernon Schwartz, Charles Slechta, Brian Hess. The show is starting. She's putting the call out. We're 53 seconds till we start this one. That's almost enough time. I know it kills Heather when we do the whole countdown. So let's start this one 30 seconds early and get ready and go live. We'll get this one out of the station and up on the tracks. It's time for Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 8 o'clock here in Mitchell, South Dakota, where we sit high atop Television Hill in the Clockworks campus, courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. I am your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine, and we're getting ready to do Shop Talk every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Here's my crew.
Hey. Howdy.
6 more weeks of winter. That dirty little rodent
that rodent's
bastard.
never right. Whatever. He's going to end up being somebody's dinner.
So it's going to be...
Nobody pays attention to him anyway.
He's not right.
Listen, I just have a feeling he's going to be right this year because we didn't get very much winter yet.
Yeah, we just had a whole week in the mid-50s here in South Dakota. It was amazing.
Redonkulous.
And then today, winter was back.
Yeah, we walked outside and it was like, boom.
It's like,
there you go. Remember me? Remember winter? Hey, lots of great stuff going on, but this is the night. This is the S&S 6. We're going to be focusing most of this whole show on talking about this incredible undertaking that S&S has launched on the whole world. Just a couple days ago, we weren't allowed to talk about this still. And I know I was keeping a secret from all you guys.
Which is amazing because Chris cannot keep a secret.
I kept a secret.
At all.
I did it.
Nope.
But hey, the secret is out now. You guys have been seeing all the posts going crazy and all the stuff is going on. And we are launching probably an 8 or 10 part series to this on Greasing Gears TV. Here's a little look inside of what's going on in this house.
This is too pretty to keep covered up here. We got to look inside.
Don't play in your own box.
No, we got to look in here.
Go on your own side.
Look at that. Look at that
Chris,
stuff.
Get out of here. Go. Don't get your grubby hands on my motor.
Couple things that I'm doing because we want this, and I'm going to go through the extra effort, but because we want this to be a true like post-war cut down. Some of the stuff we have to do is unchop it. So lucky enough that John from Hardtail Choppers, and thank you so much, John, immediately acted to a call that I had to get fresh necks for both these frames. So we're starting with
so now you touch
castings.
my greasy motor with your greasy hands, and now you're going to be nice to me.
Well, I was being nice to you before. It just...
Elocution. So this is fun, okay?
He told me once upon a time that I was ruining the motorcycle industry, just for the record.
I said that. We'll talk about that later. It's a whole other show, okay?
So lots of that first episode for you guys that are following along is on our YouTube channel and on Greasing Gears TV. It's 29 minutes and it's a blast, but it's all about kicking off this program. If you don't have Greasing Gears TV yet, check it out. It's Netflix for motorcycles. Why don't you have it yet?
It's pretty good.
Where have you been?
What's up? What the hell?
What the hell? What the hell?
I said, this is a heavy hitter show here. I mean, there's some big guns coming up.
Right.
S&S opened up the freaking door for the guns to come out.
The last time we had somebody this important on this show, a bike fell over on him, and I thought we were all going to piss our pants.
Oh my God, that was awful. I don't think anybody even took a breath for like, it felt like an eternity.
Yeah.
We were all just like,
Waiting for the move.
So Mark, you got the Impala going in the garage. That's what you're up to?
Yeah, it's cold out and shit's going down. I just put the call out to the boy from the south there, X, to look for a hood for me.
Oh, buddy.
Hopefully, so it's going to be above 40 this week. The sandblasting will get done. Yeah,
that's exciting.
It's got 4 wheels. I know Ians hate me because I have 4 wheels, but I'm
That's okay, Mark.
Listen, an Impala.
Cars are cool.
You can't hate on a 64 Impala. You can't.
62.
62. I keep getting the year wrong. I think it's a
cars are
subliminal
cool.
thing. All right, well, listen, man, we're not gonna keep this show going slow here because we need to hurry up and get on with it. But hey, if this is your first time watching, this is Shop Talk every Sunday night at 9 p.m. through 15 social media channels. We broadcast this show mostly every week and mostly on time. But we have
you broke your streak tonight. I gotta tell you.
I know. We have a good time. Talk about motorcycles, look at motorcycles. We have some guests on, and we start the whole thing off with a segment we call
The News.
I feel like Meekum is first up in the news, and I almost feel like we got to do this
Like
right
do
off
that
the bat.
bunches and bunches of
right?
times. Like just keep going.
because Meekum sets a brand new record for highest paid for motorcycle ever.
$1.3 million.
And there it is right there. The Cyclone. Jesus. 1.3. And there were no slouches right behind that. We got the
look at the
Crocker
Crockers.
coming in at 880. The Henderson 352. Henderson 4.
Damn.
264 for a 14 Minneapolis single. So
I don't know if I can afford to look at those motorcycles. I'm just saying.
well, we sure as hell ain't gonna have any in our stable if that's what I mean.
That's okay. That's okay. We shouldn't have things that are that nice.
But
no.
Have you met us?
a couple of the people that are on the show tonight were actually live while all of this was going on, so maybe we'll ask for some more on that. The second thing up in the news, and the only other thing we're talking about tonight, is the fire relief fundraiser from Troy Lee Design. Pretty cool. Over the last couple of weeks, many in the industry have expressed a desire to help the affected by the California wildfires. Troy Lee Designs has taken a lead on organizing an industry-wide fundraising campaign to support the cause through a helmet auction.
I have to just believe that in general, Mother Nature is quite freaking pissed off between...
Wow, Heather actually swore, Mark. She said if her mother's watching right now...
I said freaking.
Dude, you just took the words out of my mouth. If
I said
Judy is on,
freaking.
she just...
But between the people in Western North Carolina and California and the flooding in Hawaii and man, my heart goes out to everybody. It's just so sad what's happening right now.
But commendable, even more so.
Yep.
Troy Lee Designs Fire Relief Fundraiser is an online auction, Friday, January 31st through Friday, February 7th. TroyLeeDesigns.betterworld.org. Heather's going to put the link up right now. All proceeds will be donated to the American Red Cross for the 2025 California Wildfire Relief Fund. More information can be found at TroyLeeDesigns.betterworld.org. or by scanning the QR code that's on this press release that we're reading. So I'm going to put that up one more time to give you guys an opportunity, even if it's after the fact and you're coming back to this, you can scan that and get right to it, or click on Heather's link. And
it's coming.
With that, Judy says you're on a slippery slope.
Boy.
Hey, you almost said her name wrong.
I know, but I didn't.
After all this time,
it's you
all
in
these
trouble,
years.
not me.
Hey, I said freaking.
So, hey,
and
man,
I've heard my mother's mouth.
Listen, thanks for tuning in to Shop Talk. We're going to take a quick 2 minutes and check out a feature bike. When we come back, we're bringing on the S&S 6, well, the S&S 5 plus me.
I love you, Mom.
That's what's up right there, in case you didn't hear.
You are part of the S&S 6. Don't say and me.
And me.
You earned it.
And me.
Well,
Let's look at a feature bike.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
Hi, I'm Stacy McCleary. I'm from Northern California. This particular bike right here is, I try to build a new build every year. I have a little small garage in my backyard. So this bike, I've got many years worth of gathering parts and stuff, and then I build everything else. But this frame had been involved in a wreck, so it was given to me. The whole front of the frame was whacked out, so I rebuilt the front of the frame, and I built pretty much everything on the bike in my one-car garage. The engine's a 1967 generator shovel motor. I use a lot of these. I split the rockers just so I could make things look a little different. 4-speed transmission. Just try to keep it as much old school as I can. Remembering back when I was a young dude. Stone, Woods, and Cook. Back when I was a young guy, there was out of Southern California, I've always been a big drag racing fan. So there was a 41 Willys gasser out of Southern California, and it was this glacier blue color, and this was written on the side. So Stone, Woods, and Cook was a very famous 41 Willys gasser out of Southern California. So I brought back memories of over 50, 60 years, and I did it because this was a color I wanted, and then I decided to go ahead. That was on the side door. so nobody's going to know unless you're an old drag racer. This aluminum oil tank, I use these on several of my builds. It's made by Moon, and I like it because it's another racing item, something to look kind of racy, you know. So I like doing that. I like running velocity stacks too, kind of a racing look. Getting back to the garage builds, I build a complete new build every year like this for many, many years now. So I don't sell no bikes, or I've given a few away, but I've never sold a bike really. So I've got over 15 bikes at home right now that I built. So they're in the house, the garage, and everywhere around. So they're kind of my family. Well, you know what? My wife has realized my passion is going out in the garage building motorcycles. So it's a full-time job. All my bikes are runners. They all run, and I ride them. I'm at least once a month they're getting out and getting ridden and putting miles on. To keep 14 bikes going like that, it's a full-time job. Besides building a new bike. And when I build a new bike, I don't build one bike at a time. I work on 2 or 3 at a time. Because I get tired of working on one, and I jump to another one. So I'm building a couple of them right now, but one will be done for next year, like this. It'll be done for next year. It's actually going to be done in about 4 or 5 more months. Then I can start on another one. Hi, I'm a Dennis Kirk garage builder. My name is Stacy McCleary. I'm out of Manteca, California, which is in Northern California.
Oh, nice. Paul Yaffe product, huh?
Yeah, man, so excited.
Got a new build?
I do. It's aren't you Paul Yaffe?
No, I've never met the guy. But I do know you can get all of his products at denniskirk.com.
There you go.
Is this me? Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Listen to Not Paul Yaffe. Get all your Bagger Nation products right now at denniskirk.com.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
I'm Nick Trask, Trask Performance, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Klockworks, where innovation meets style. Klockworks specializes in high-quality windshields, fenders, phone mounts, and other parts designed to enhance your ride, with a commitment to craftsmanship and an eye for detail. Ensure your bike not only rides smoothly, but looks stunning too. Elevate your riding experience today. Shop GetKlock.com.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back to Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You're watching Shop Talk, and this is it. What are you saying? Okay.
2 things real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Happy 71st birthday to the California Cowboy. He turned 71 this weekend.
Yes,
Stacy
sir.
McCleary.
Just gonna say the same thing.
And he is the real deal. He is one of my
Yes, he
favorite
is.
humans. He and his
Oh,
wife
God.
are wonderful people.
Dude.
And you're trying to sell me for bike parts?
No.
Excuse me?
I said, listen, first of all,
Buddy.
don't even go there with me.
You want me to save you with a Stacy story?
Stacy is the best, though, dude. You know, Flake
Oh, dude, I love him.
Paint and Design said something about him about, I like this guy. You can't help but like
No.
this guy because he is possessed with building motorcycles.
And he rides the hell out of them. And the best part,
beautiful.
And again, he is 71 years old. Every event he and his wife go to, they insist on tent camping.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where they go. They go to Sturgis, they camp in a tent in Sturgis.
And he just loves the hell
and
out of it.
he loves the hell out of it. It's amazing.
And I'll tell you another thing about Stacy, and I keep saying we have to get a camera on him and get his story. That dude, his story is epic. Like what he did, and to get him to building bikes again, his story's hysterical. So he's
you gotta love him.
So listen, this is one more opportunity, real quick, for a shameless plug for Grease and Gears TV. Because if you like looking at feature bikes like that, like Stacy's, you can see his bike and a whole bunch of other ones. If you go down to the custom bikes section, and you can watch stories about custom bikes from now until the cows come home. So check that out. But hey, tonight is S&S night. So any of you guys that have been in this for a minute, remember the greatest of all time custom motorcycle promotion was when S&S had their 50th anniversary. They had 50 builders build 50 bikes, spanning the entire history of the company, every motor family, everything you can imagine. And man, I can remember it like it was yesterday.
I couldn't imagine orchestrating that.
Oh, so
Dude.
I mean, they've done other promotions too of this regard, like the Shovelhead tour, the tour for the 145s. But that 50th will always stand out as the greatest time in custom motorcycles. It was absolutely at the pinnacle of everything. And when they announced that they were bringing this program back, I couldn't have been more happier, even if I personally wasn't involved. So I'm super stoked to get everybody on here. The announcement was just yesterday. So the fact that we're like first in the lineup to get this whole crew together and get this show is awesome. So let's get them on here so we don't hold it up anymore. All right, the S&S 6 Plus. Well, don't everybody talk at once. You guys are making me.
What's up? Happy Sunday. Here.
I was scared that the audio was out.
Oh, why don't you
You did that on purpose, Chris.
Why don't you try to control the chaos and introduce everybody?
I think what we're going to start with the man of the hour, who is at the head of all of this, Mr. Brett Smith. So Brett, thank you so much on behalf of everybody for you and Howard and everybody involved putting this together. But why don't you tell everybody where this is coming from?
Sure. So many of you know that I left the company back in 2008, not long after the 50th. And I've really kind of been away from the family business for quite a while. A few years ago, I got re-engaged at the request of some family members. And we had some outside leadership, which I think is fine. But when you're a now fourth generation family-owned business, it really, I think, matters to carry on tradition. And I'm going to say, without trying to degrade anything that preceded this, we lost our way a little bit. And I think the market dynamics changed a lot. A lot of people were fighting to stay in business. S&S did well during that time frame, but we really started to shift our priorities, and it became very clear about a year ago, a little over a year ago, that we needed to do something to unite the industry. And there are a couple of different organizations that have the kind of influence and the breadth to do that. But at the end of the day, the heart and soul of every motorcycle is the power plant. It's the engine. And we've had a lot of success collaborating with builders over the years. And we had not done a project, and I felt it was really important as a family member and a director that we needed to do that. And unfortunately, when you don't do something for a long period of time, you kind of lose the muscle memory. And the team that we had didn't have that experience. There were some people still in the business, but people like Charlie Hedaya, Howard Kelly, Jeremy Gilbert, myself, those are the people that really brought all that stuff together years ago. So I embarked on a quest in March. Really, it was almost a year ago today, to reach out, get Charlie back. Howard was next in line. Jeremy Gilbert rejoined the company, Rodeo, many of you know him. And I'm also pleased to announce for you racers that we are going to also add Justin Bramstead back to the company and Steve Rominski. And when you have that core group of people that I call it know how to get shit done is kind of my motto. When you bring that core group of people back together, then you can do these things. And that's where it started. But where it really takes root is when you can get enthusiast builders that have a passion, not only of individuality and creativity, but they also like to work as a team, right? And for us to be so blessed to get somebody like Howard back and within a week get the coordination effort in place and identify the builders, that was a great task, and he got it done. So that's really why we're doing this. It's to rejuvenate the industry, be creative, but most importantly, it's to have fun. And if we're not having fun, we're not doing it right. So that was the goal. And I just want to thank the entire builder team, Howard, Charlie, everybody that's involved with this, to have a lot of fun. Now, the last thing that I'll say is when you lose that muscle memory, okay, we used to pump out kind of a new power plant that was unique about every year. And that started with the 145 all the way through my tenure. And when you lose that, you got to get back in the groove. And so I said, you know, we gotta take baby steps, but I think now's the time to dig back into the archives and revitalize some products that we had really lost our way with, and that's the vintage product. And so that's how the idea came about. And I'm really not the star. I was just a catalyst, and I'm just very thankful to be here tonight, and want to turn it over to Howard and the builders. So that's the background, Chris. And you know that because you were involved from the start. But I think it's worth mentioning that this is all about fun. So let's have some fun.
Absolutely. And who has more fun than this guy right here? We have a group chat for all the builders and everybody from S&S. The first person that answers every single chat is Howard Kelly. Every single time he is the first one to answer.
Well, that's just because I like you guys. You know, guys, seriously, I was dying to get to the announcement, and I'm so glad you guys stuck with the plan. The reaction that I've got from people has been phenomenal. The phone calls, the texts I've got. Why couldn't you tell me? Why couldn't you tell me? Because it was a surprise. Now the surprise is out, and it's going to be awesome, right? We're gonna unveil the bike February 28th at 10 a.m. at the S&S truck on the J&P lot in Daytona. The bikes will be there all week. Then we're going to have the bikes again at the Donnie Smith show at the end of March, just in case people can't make it to Daytona. Then we're going to hang out with Chip, and we're going to be at Born Free and show all the cool guys what cool bikes actually look like. And then we're going to go to Sturgis and wrap it up. And fingers crossed, Chris, if I can pull this together, we may be doing a charity ride where you guys will lead the ride, and we'll be supporting Tunnel to Towers organization with that. So I'm just working on the logistics for that now, but if that happens, we'll get to do the ride together.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I know everyone here is stoked, man. I'm going to have you guys, just starting with the top left-hand corner of your screen, Mr. Xavier from Providence Cycle. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody and give a couple comments about what you're starting with and what you're heading out for.
I'm Providence Cycle Works based out of Austin, Texas. And first and foremost, I'm honored and grateful a part of something that's so awesome. Like many people on the show, Chris, I was one of those guys who was sitting, I was sitting on my tour bus watching the Shovelhead tour with Paul and Kane, Mike and Kevin Alsop and all that. How cool the whole thing was. Chica and the drink, and and I can't be more grateful than I am to be a part of it. guys that Howard and Brett have put together, because everybody is a monster, and to be included in that pack is really an honor. It's really cool, man. And I went ahead. Apparently, my name was at the end of the list, the shovelhead guy, but it's totally cool because I'm a head guy anyway. So I took the nose cone and started out with a Kitty Boyce frame, and just proceeded to do what I don't like this and take it off and do this and do that. It's coming along, man, and I'm excited. I'm really excited, and it was so hard to keep this thing under wraps.
Oh my God, right?
Oh my! I have never done anything like that in my life, man. And people would come by the shop. I had some fellas coming through town doing something at Cowboy Harley Davidson, and they were like, "Dude, what's going on with this? What? Oh, that bike, I don't. But what about over here? It was difficult to keep that under wraps, and I'm so glad that it's out now because we're all. I'm super excited to be a part of it and get to that and see all bikes displayed together, because there's going to be such an array of individual personalities that are going to come through with bike, and I'm just happy to be a part of it, dude. I really am.
Yeah, this is a pretty eclectic group. I mean, when you look at it and you think about the stuff that individually we have all been known for building, and then imagining, I can't imagine what everybody's doing with this and where they're going. But let's go the next in the center top and bring in Mr. Kevin Teach Baas.
Hey, what's happening?
I wonder what motor you're working with, Teach.
It's a little Vespa motor. It's got a couple hamster wheels in it.
Hey, easy with the hamster wheel.
Sorry. Chinchilla wheels.
Yeah, there you go. Nice set.
Kevin wins tonight.
Well, right on. Appreciate y'all for having me part of this. Yeah, obviously I'm doing the knucklehead. It's kind of the thing that I've been obsessed with my whole life, and pretty excited and honored and blessed to be a part of this S&S build team doing one of the knucks. This is kind of a dream come true. A company that when I was a kid, on the back of my dad's shovels and pan heads, he had S&S carbs on them and was always talking about stroking this and doing that, and S&S was always the top of the line. So I think I'm making my dad proud right now, knowing that I'm part of this, because he's been the old timer forever, building the stuff when he was a youngster, and he's still building and high performance and stuff. And S&S is the name that always comes up. So it's exciting. Again, I'm Kevin Baas. They call me Teach. I'm a shop teacher, Prior Lake, Minnesota. So I'm coming to you from my little garage right now, but I will be doing some of this build with my students in class. So teaching my high school kids hands-on trades, how to find a career passion, work with your hands, put the cell phones down, get a little dirty.
Amen.
And, I always tell them, I want you to find a career, not a job, something that you can be happy to get up for the rest of your life, not hit snooze a million times because you hate going to it. So, my passion's been the old bike. I have kind of a crusty style. I built one nice one, Zeus, and that had an S&S knuck in it, so that was cool.
Yeah, buddy. Zeus was the top of the world right there, buddy.
Yeah, there it is. Sugar Bear. When Sugar Bear made me that front end, he's like, Teach, he goes, my saying, if it ain't long, it's wrong. But he goes, I'll do this one for you for this build. So I got lucky.
Well, I was just gonna say, you son of a bitch, you found a way to work the kids into this. I was gonna tell you this one finally. You can't say it's for the kids.
It's for the kids, man. It's gonna be going there soon. We're actually building another S&S knuck right now for Dennis Kirk for their giveaway bike with the students in class. So it was pretty cool because we started doing that, and then when I was approached about possibly being the one that builds the Dennis Kirk bike, first thing I said, I'll do it, but it's got to be an S&S motor and it's got to be an S&S nut. And they're like, let's think about it for a second. And then they said, yep, okay, it's good, you're in. So excited. This is going to be, this is my fourth S&S knuckle build now through the year since they first came out way back when. So pretty cool stuff that, the technology that they put into these motors. They have an old looking knuckle that's got, big inch, good good technology now to run hard, not blow up on you.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited. So the direction I'm going with this build is going to be, I want it to look kind of like a barn find, old crusty knuckle. You know, I'm going to patina up the S&S motor a little bit, make it look a little older. But what this can show people out there, though, is like you could build a replica, really high performance knuckle multiple ways. You know, I'm using a lot of OEM vintage parts for my stash, so this thing's going to have a lot of real deal stuff on it, and hopefully, it'll hold up to the horsepower of that S&S knuck motor. But or you can buy all the reproduction stuff and build a replica. But it's cool because this vintage tour is going to show people like, hey, you can get the shovels, the pans, the knucks, and you can build something now. The real motors that to find a 1946 knuckle with a clean title is ridiculous prices. So you can go with the S&S knuck version and have a bike that looks just as cool, but it's going to go twice as fast. So yeah. Anyway, I think my build will be definitely from the heart. Like I said, I've been pulling some parts out of my stash, some secret stuff that I've been keeping for a special build. And I'm just looking forward to working with all these other guys. I've met most of them, hung out with a lot of them, and it's a good bunch. This is going to be fun when we're all together at these events. I appreciate and respect every one of these other guys. They're a hell of a lot better builders than I am. I'm just going to kind of be in the mix with that dirty old one in the corner, and hopefully nobody throws rotten eggs at me. So, but I'm excited. I appreciate it, man. The opportunity is amazing. I can't wait to get this to school and start working on it with my kids in class, and look forward to the next upcoming updates that we can give. And now that the cat's out of the bag, let's let that thing growl. Let's go.
Hey, real quick, Teach, I want to let you know Radar Fletcher, who you probably met when you were at Smokeout the last time, he says, I'll donate my 131 to Teach if he'll get the kids to build a chopper around it. Please let him know. So after the show, I'll make sure to hook the two of you guys up.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So part of the power trio, we're going to call it, of this whole event. First up in that lineup is Mr. Mike Beland from A1 Cycles. I got to say part of the power trio because there's three of you guys that are building rocket ships right now. I absolutely know that. So we're going to go to you first.
Mike Beland from A1 Cycles, currently in North Carolina. Just feel blessed to be asked to be part of this program. Have my name mentioned in the same breath as S&S Cycles and these fellow builders. I feel like I really got lucky. 29 years in business, and I finally got asked to do something cool. Just enjoy going fast. I race top fuel Harleys. We have one of the fastest baggers in the world. Modern engines, modern fuel injection, and of course turbocharging. So I kind of ran out of time on the fuel injection side of it, but we are doing a turbocharged shovel.
Nice.
Will you have it back for Smokeout? I'm just asking.
Yeah,
asking
listen,
for a friend.
We should talk about that for a second because I mentioned this to Howard the other day. Anybody who's interested in this, I would love to get these motorcycles to Smokeout and give a whole special display area. So I know mine will be there. I'm hoping that maybe I can actually steal Teach's and maybe Brian's, but anybody who's interested in getting these to Smokeout, let's see if we can figure out how to get them there.
That's an easy one for me. It's 30 minutes away.
Right.
Perfect. Okay,
so we're gonna move.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Just saying that Mike's putting a turbocharger. There's still time for a supercharger.
Right?
Yeah, he ran out of time, right?
There's nothing but pressure, but it's okay.
I don't have my paint back yet.
Yeah, who does by a show of hands? Who actually has paint done already?
Well, Kevin doesn't need paint. His paint's done.
Mine was painted like 70 years ago.
Yeah, Teach, that doesn't count.
Right.
No, actually, I'm getting my tins painted. They're gonna be patina really cool. My buddy Matt at MCA, he's got this technique down, so I'll drop them on there. They're gonna look like they're 60 years old. So I'm excited.
And
more crust.
Snipes Machine is delivering my chassis and tins tomorrow.
Nice.
Jesus. Okay, I'm behind. All right, well let's
really. Maybe a little. I don't know.
You got 24 days.
Yeah, I know.
You got 24 more overnights.
Yeah,
no,
I don't think.
No, because actually Heather and I are going to Qatar in between this. So
yeah,
we're screwed. Yeah, it's over.
We'll finish it before the party at JMP Cycles on Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll finish it Thursday night.
We'll all get there and finish it.
See, Mike knows. Mike knows me.
Howard knows a little bit about last minute builds.
Oh yeah. How many things have we
Those
finished?
of you that were around the 50th, there were some exciting moments.
There were bikes being built as they were being wheeled into the show still.
We've done that before.
Oh yeah.
We've put parts on like as we're rolling it into motorcycles as art.
Yeah.
We've done that before. Wouldn't be the first time.
Dude, I'm ashamed to say this, and Michael Lichter is such a saint for putting up with me. But one year we rolled in there, I had a bike and I had paintings in his show, and I had to finish the bike and then finish one of the paintings.
He literally hung the painting on the wall.
We were there like 4:30 in the morning. I thought he was going to kill me.
It was great.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's move to the first half of San Diego Customs, and also one of the power trio of this group. Mikey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how's it going? Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, you're good.
We got him.
So, yeah, introduce yourself to everybody and tell them a little bit about what's going on for you guys.
All right, I'm Mikey. I'm from San Diego Customs. I guess I'm the other half of the shop. Bike is at paint.
Nice.
Chip nailed it. Those things, I don't know if you guys have seen. I guess you've seen it in the group chat. It's pretty wild looking. There's a lot of hours of machine parts and shit, but it's looking good, man. Looking good.
Yeah, you guys have some.
That's not it, but
no, you guys have some great stuff that comes out of there, though. So I don't expect that this thing is going to be a slouch at all.
And they're working with a knucklehead motor, right?
Yeah, we got a knucklehead.
Which is interesting, right? Like, I wonder how many people are going to be surprised about the fact that you guys are working with a knuckle.
Well, Chip wanted the knuckle because, we haven't built a knuckle before, and kind of what he envisioned in his head. I'm sure he'll tell you exactly how he did it, but I think he just, I don't know. He wanted to shock a few people, I think, so I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah, all right.
A little bit of a challenge. Let's
nobody's going to see it till February 28th.
Yeah. Well, let's
Howard,
go down.
The enforcer.
Let's go down and ask him about that. Is that the deal? Was it a challenge, a personal challenge?
Well, we got a knuckle. Obviously, we do FXRs in strange ways, so it would be appropriate to figure out how to do a rubber mounted motor, which comes from a rigid mounted background. It sounds easy to do, but I don't think anyone's done it correctly to where you could actually ride the bike and not have the motor banging around into the frame or the top of the frame or the down tube or wherever. And it just took a lot of thinking and a lot of just patience. And I know we're going to get a lot of shit for it, for the whole, why would you do that? And blah, blah, blah. And, if it runs nice and it's a fun bike and it's something different, that's cool with me. This industry has gotten so repetitive with people doing the same shit and buying parts off of Instagram and taking them to your local buddy and bolting them on, and these bikes start all looking the same, and it's just kind of gotten to a stale point where it needs to have some fun and some flavor brought back into it in order for people like us to still want to do this shit. I mean, it's like the industry has changed so much in the past 5 years that doing something refreshing had to be done. It's about a year ago, Mike said, hey, we should probably think about doing something different like we did 10 years ago when we figured out what we consider to be the proper way to put a twin cam in an FXR chassis, which basically involves just doing the R&D and figuring out how to make an oil pan. But that took a year and a half to do and bring to fruition. And then as soon as we did that, we got copied, and that was very disheartening. So we stopped doing that. And, then the industry just kept growing and growing and growing, and things came in, like the performance side of things. And we had to figure out how to adapt all that stuff with the stuff we were doing, and this is years ago. And now here we are, and it's just a whole different era. You have companies, the gold tooth of motorcycling, Öhlins, Brembo, one of the biggest brake manufacturers in the world, are now available, through drag. So that kind of tells you where the industry is going as far as for the performance side of things is here. And that's what we've been doing. So to get a motor like a knucklehead and build it around a performance-based bike, once again, it's just going to be a fun thing. Like you said, it's about having fun, and that's really what, it's about, and that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, fun is expensive, but it is what it is, at this point. How much fun do you want to have?
No, you know what, though?
That's kind of where we're at, and what we're doing, and, I hope everyone digs it.
I got to give you a lot of credit for the statement that makes, too, because I totally agree with you. Like, I came into this stuff in a time where, striving for individuality was like the number one thing. You wanted all your stuff to be completely different, and custom was custom ruled, and I feel like we have got into a rut where there's just a lot of the same stuff coming out. So I dig the hell out of the fact that you guys are doing that.
Thanks, man. We're stoked to be a part of it. It's a totally different kind of project. We've learned a lot on the way, both about knuckleheads and about, machining and the things that we had to do. I don't know if anybody can see this, but that's like our centerpiece of this project, which is I believe it's 13 pieces. So we took the FXR oil bag and battery box and just reversed it and made it the way we needed to make. But, that takes a lot to do and a lot of thinking. And that was our main goal, was to basically, we wanted to start off by making a part that hasn't been done before. And then it evolved into making the rest of the stuff that goes on the part, because it just seemed like one of the best things to do. So, that's taken us about almost 5-6 months of R&D, design, thinking, cutting, printing, going, fuck, this sucks, let's do it again. And, let's move this in a few thou and blah, blah, blah. And, all that stuff takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
so, we're hoping people will understand, like, hey, we put a lot into this, and this is what we came up with.
Yes, sir.
But I love that oil tank, Chip. I've showed everybody in the company that thing.
Thanks, Howard.
They all said
I think you got
thing.
to witness the trials and tribulations to get us to this point.
But they all said, wow. Why? But wow.
Right, yeah, why, exactly.
It's not even finished yet either.
It's not a why, it's because you can. It's not a why, it's because you can.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know we could until we did.
It's actually a why not.
Here's what I think is great about this is when you get into a situation, even like we did at S&S for nearly a decade, you hear more about what you can't do than dreaming about what's possible. And
amen.
I think each of you builders in your own way are showing the industry with what you're doing, what is possible. And that was a huge impetus and a goal for me, was to demonstrate to a lot of different people that this can be done and people can have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So I just want to commend all of you once again for your creativity, your ingenuity, and your can-do attitude, and for collaborating with us the way that you are, and giving us feedback that we're already acting on. Mike, you know what I'm talking about. We really appreciate that, because we learned some things. And I think the people that are watching tonight and the people that go and see you all are going to be amazed and hopefully prompted to launch into the things that can't be done. Because once you get a lot of people doing the things that can't be done, then a lot of stuff starts getting done. So you guys have an opportunity to change the industry, because this hasn't been done in a while, to my knowledge.
Yep. So, last but certainly not least, the man of the hour. They call him Mr. Klock. Mr.
Well,
Works.
I thought you were going to tell us about your build. What happened?
No, I'm talking to you, man.
All right.
Mike, you got to flip your phone again, buddy.
Yeah, something happened. I went out crazy.
So, Brian Klock building a panhead. Check that out.
Yeah. We're definitely not known for this kind of stuff. Obviously, you know, the twin cam thing was our era, building the world's fastest bagger and going to Bonneville and designing the windshield, doing all that stuff. But when Howard asked me, he goes, hey, we're trying to bring something back like we did, you know, for S&S's 50th. Well, I still own my 50th bike. It's a wedge motor. It's downstairs here in the shop. People see it all the time. I've got the picture up there with all 50 different builders that jumped into that pool back then. And what an incredible thing. What an honor to be a part of that. And so now as S&S kicks off the vintage series, once again, it tries to bring the life back to custom building. It was easy for me. The panhead fit right into the corner that I have dedicated to my dad here in the shop. And my dad had a 61 panhead that he rode to Sturgis 1 month before I was born. My mom was really excited about that. But my dad's always been a motorcycle guy. And so my dad leaned to the side of stock motorcycles. He loves stock motorcycles, and that's not who I am. So when I got asked to do this, it made perfect sense, but I had to pay a little tribute to that. So it'll be painted like a 61 panhead. The rest of it will be full-blown custom, you know, polished motor. We're still using that buffalo head nacelle and the original front end and all the things that should have been on it. And we even went back to an original frame. The frame I found was nasty, as crusty as Teach would say it. And so we dug into that thing, and man, the neck looked like a hornet's nest in there. I don't know what. It was like welding mayhem. It was bad. Whatever they were on, they were not doing it right. So all good, but we're getting it fixed back up, and I'm excited about it. And I'm excited that S&S has got the band back together, if you will. Just to have, you know, Brett back at the helm and Howard and Charlie and Rodeo and all the guys back in the trenches again. It's fun for me. I feel like we're going to see a resurgence of people being excited again about, I'm just going to go get this old frame. I'm going to buy that new S&S Vintage series, whatever motor I want. So it's like, you know, Resto Mod is so big in cars right now. Everybody's put an LS motor in everything they've got, or a new Coyote motor in their Ford Mustang. And it's the same idea. We're just doing it in motorcycles, and wait and see. I'm used to keeping it secret. I've done this before. Thanks, Howard.
Hey, you know, Brian and Chris, before we go to Chris, I just want to say something to you guys. I pay attention to the group chat that we have. I know I'm not quite as engaged as Howard, but the video clip that you guys put together, episode 1, was moving.
That's cool.
Because you guys were so real and sincere about your builds and the why behind the builds. It was really, really awesome. And I just want to thank you for sending that out to the group. And I look forward to seeing the clips from the rest of you describing your builds, because it's a great way to reach out and touch people. And I want you to know, Brian and Chris, I was really moved by your video. It was awesome.
Thanks. Well, that's all Chris. So now to the man of the real hour, and this is his hour, Chris Callen, Cycle Source Magazine. I'm lucky to have him on the other side of the wall here. And we're both building panheads, so it's kind of like this brotherly love thing, just back like when we used to argue about the Limp Nicky a lot. And again, that's for another show, Chris. But tell him about the video. Tell him how you did all this stuff.
Well, make sure that Chris speaks with elocution.
Yes. Yeah, absolute elocution. Yeah. He's going to make up words. He might as well use them.
Yeah.
It's not a made-up word. It's a real word.
Okay. Put up the website. Go ahead. Heather, you go ahead and try to find that in Google and post it for everybody. Mr. Elocution himself, Chris Callen.
Isn't
what
that
he's building, Chris?
Isn't that what they do to murderers?
Yes, it is. It is, Mike. It is.
Yes, it is.
Elocution chair or something?
Got a bad case of the elocution.
It's the skill, elocution, the skill of clear and expressive speech, especially of distinct pronunciation and articulation, a particular style of speaking.
So Heather, it describes you, not Chris.
I have to say, I did come to his defense. I'm like, yes, that is a real word. Yes, I've used it before. So,
Chris,
Nice.
I have to say right here, your Robin Quivers truly just came out.
I know, right?
Right? There you go.
All right, listen. So here's the thing, man. This is why I'm so excited to be part of this. And you guys that have been following along with us know that Brian and I have been part of the Friends Throwdown year after year too. And this is the part that I dig. I am, to my core, a storyteller. So when I hear, Chip and Mikey putting down the gauntlet, making a statement with their build, and, Teach and everything he does with the kids with his build, and A1 Mike and going after that performance thing, and Brian and his story, and Xavier and his story, and all of the stuff that goes into this, that's what always made motorcycling special. That's what being part of this community and coming up with stuff in our garage and coming out and sharing it with our brothers and our motorcycle family, that's what always made this so cool. Just having shit is stupid. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, it'd be great to have a bunch of money to just be able to buy stuff, but to be able to put your heart and soul into something, to be able to make a statement, to be able to move other people with the stuff you do, that's the most important thing. So I tried to think about that from all of this. Like, this was such an incredible opportunity for me that if I was gonna build a bike for this, as much as I love the 9-foot long choppers that I've kind of become known for, I didn't want to build just another chopper. I wanted to tell a story, right? So I decided to make my story about the very beginning of custom motorcycling, and that was a thing that happened in post-war America, when young GIs were coming back from the war and they wanted to run around with their buddies and raise hell, and they started doing motorcycles called cut downs. So I took a project that's a 1949 and we took it all the way back to stock, which meant cutting the frame apart and going back completely to stock before we started with what we did with our whole project. And just like Chip and Mikey said, I learned so much in this process. And one of the things right off the bat is, like, companies that I used to think a different way about completely, I have a different perspective now. Like Ted's V-Twin, thank God for Ted's V-Twin, because I don't know how much of a vintage motorcycle scene there'd be today without access to the parts that those guys have. And yes, you have to, anybody who grew up in a body shop like me, my toolbox is in the body shop, I had more fender spacers in it than anything else. So I understand everything from the aftermarket is not going to fit perfectly. It's just how it is. You figure it out, right? But the fact that they offer all of these parts and make this possible is, like Teach said, you can actually build one of these motorcycles and you can go ride it around and have fun on it. So that's, in short, that's my whole build, and I'm stoked to be here. I couldn't be more grateful.
Knuckleheads forever.
The funny part about it is Brian should have grabbed the rest of that because he introduced you and it left you standing there hanging for a second.
Yeah, right.
How are we going to go from all that and then go to the next move? Brian, this is your job now.
Yeah, I understand. My fault. I've dropped it, Mark.
Dude, Brian, do you see the amount of bullshit that Brian's been giving me in these videos, man? I didn't even realize it until I started editing the videos. I didn't realize, like, how much he busts on me, like, nonstop.
Brian, you're my hero.
Hey,
right.
I'm telling you, I think your episodes are going to be fun for everybody to watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is really a heartwarming story, and that's, I think, what we need to do, Howard, when we're doing this, is we've got to make sure we've got these videos streamed in the booth when people come through, because it's powerful. Yeah. It's really cool. So, but yes, I did see that he gave you a pretty hard time.
You know,
I didn't know we had to have a story.
Somebody has to.
Hey, your story, Mike, your story is already better than all of us because
Right?
Chris and I have been doing this for 27 years, and you just threw down the gauntlet and said you've been doing it for 29.
29, yeah. Like next October will be 30. I'm pretty excited.
And if you want to find shit talkers, they live in San Diego, and their names are Chip and Mikey. Okay, I'm glad that we're not on the other end of the HPI, throwdown that they do with.
Oh, I love those guys.
That is messy. I have seen it in person at Born Free. I've seen it on videos. It's unbelievable.
It's all good.
Jimmy's awesome.
Lies.
Jimmy and I get along so good because he's a real racer. That guy is a hardcore dirt track sprint car racer. I love that guy.
He's probably listening to us right now, so we should also
give him the finger.
Yeah, and tell him he's a word that rhymes with hay.
You mean slow?
Oh man,
you must mean slow,
right there. That's woke. There is a little bit of a story for my chassis. The guy keeps. He's like 80-something years old, and he raced this motorcycle chassis that I have. And I don't want some of you guys know what it is. I don't want to release what it is. The chassis is it's a famous chassis from a famous chassis company from the 70s. And this guy was like, I was number 13 in the world, and like you got to send me updated photos. It was on Facebook Marketplace for 5 years, and no one bought it.
Wow.
And I'm like, there's no way this thing is still there. And I sent him a message, and he's like, yeah, I still got it. And I had my friend go there and pick it up. It was in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. And he drove it down to me. And I'm like, how do you want me up to you? He goes, you got my phone number? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm messaging him on Facebook. He thinks I have his phone number now. He's more technically challenged than I am with the social media. But I've been sending him updated pictures. Maybe, I don't know if he's capable of traveling Daytona, but when it gets done, I'm definitely going to get a hold and see if he can come around and see his old bike.
That's awesome. I love
That's
that.
an story, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna have lots of like brand new stuff on it. Like we're modernizing it with carbon fiber wheels from Brock's and stuff like that. But it's still, the bones are his. 50 years of bad welding and bad decision. I showed you guys in the private jet some of the stuff that was on that thing.
Mike, did you just make that story up to have the coolest story from everyone?
No, it's not a cool story. It is a cool story, but it's not like Brian's story about his dad. That's awesome. I wish I had a dad.
Well, Stephanie Sattler was she painted all of the limited edition paintings for the S&S 50th. So in 2019, I lost 2 of them in that flood that we had.
Yeah, that sucks.
I walked in and the oil's just dripping down them, and it was tragic. But I do have one in the corner with my dad's original 61 Panhead and it was a picture that was taken 1 month before they went to Sturgis. Or the day they left for Sturgis, 1 month before I was born in 1966. And so it's kind of fun that ties back to the S&S 50th. And here we are, surprising people again. And the industry's calling. The people are asking, why you, why this guy, why that guy, and how this even happened, and how come I didn't know about it, right? And it has to start somewhere. And so I'm really honored to be part of the Maverick group that gets to bring this back a little bit. And just, I think this is going to be something that goes on not only here, but also internationally as we go forward. And I'm just stoked to be part of this group. It's going to be super fun.
Super.
I can only imagine when we ride, though, you're going to launch a little harder than everybody else, Mike, from the light. And the only person right behind you will be Chip.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I'll be at the stoplight kicking. God damn, come on.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, hey, Teach, can you show me something here? Teach me something.
Yeah, what's surprising is the release was yesterday. I was at a bike show with Jody P and Dave P up in Greensboro, and it was a bunch of choppers. And Joe Marshall was there, a bunch of great guys. And it was really good to walk around the S&S shirt on, 781 Cycle shirt on. So I got to duck a lot of customers that wouldn't recognize me. and one thing that happened yesterday is my phone kept going off from a lot of people I've known for 25 years offering help. What do you need? Do you need anything from me? What can I help you with? It's so cool you got picked. The outpouring of help was really surprising to me. It was really cool. Everybody wanted to be part of it, even though the bike's almost done, because it's such a secret.
Yeah, same exact thing. I was at Mecum, and Greg Lou, who's the panhead master.
Yep.
Rob Nussbaum had said he sent a couple things to Chris, and if I need anything to reach out to him. And
Yeah.
all those guys are like, hey, I got this one cool thing. I got this other cool thing. And then in the private chat, I saw Teach's Primary, and that was one of the cool things somebody was talking about. So there will be some real authentic nostalgia brought around this modern power plant. So it's just, it's a retro mod motorcycle movement for sure.
Definitely.
Hey, I need to send out a shout out real quick, and this is on top of everything that Scotty and Charlie Hedaya have helped out with. Every time I have a question, Teach, the man that's in my corner for both me and Brian. And Brian, you may not even know how many times I turn to Steve about stuff, but Steve Broyles has been an absolute godsend.
Yeah.
Like every time,
He's the
because
man.
I really am, like, for a lot of this stuff, like I'm using mechanical brakes and shit like Flintstone, you know what I mean? And I don't know how any of this stuff goes together. I can't find a decent book, and every day I'm on the phone with poor Steve Broyles, and he's just been such an absolute doll for helping me with everything. And when I have questions of my stuff or Brian's stuff, he's been killing it. So thank you to Steve.
Great guy.
What's cool about the vintage scene too is, it's a big brotherhood. We like helping people out. Everybody likes to share their knowledge because you got to pass the torch, whether it's to somebody older than you that's just figured out they want to get into it, or somebody younger, like with my students. But whenever there's a question or a problem, man, with this vintage stuff especially, that everybody's excited to see new stuff happening and coming around, and they're willing to help, and sharing that love is what it's all about.
Yeah. I've had so many of my friends that have literally just called up and said, hey man, wow, congrats. That's awesome. Is there anything, do you need anything? Can I help you with anything? I'm like, yeah, can you get me more time?
yeah.
That's where everybody's at, and everybody's that's watching and listening, this was brought to us not that long ago, so there was not only having, like for me, I'm a one-man shop and I've got 3 other customer builds going on at the same time I'm doing, the S&S build, and which I'm not complaining about because that's, a problem. I'm super grateful for that. But, it's quite the undertaking when you accept the commitment and then you have to deliver. There is no failure. There is no option. And I think it's really cool when the community, your true friends that call you up and offer, just a phone call of the excitement, dude. Like Mike was he was one of the first cats I talked to when he got it. It was just like, dude, we were so like kids. We're like, and that's the coolest part of it. That's the story, man. And Chris is always preaching that. I mean, since day one I met him, and the first time he ever came on one of my buses, and it was always about the story. Where's the story? And I think that this is another chapter in the S&S, it's not even a trilogy, man. It's like 17 movies long. It's a box set. And this is one of them where, each one of us get to experience that. And man, you can't place a price tag on that. It's priceless. And it also really shows you who has your back.
Amen.
I'm glad you guys all had positive experiences when we announced it, because I had a bunch of, how come you didn't pick me?
I don't wish to in that respect whatsoever, Howard, because I'm sure your list was hella long, and in the same token, you had to really, you had to gamble on some of us. I mean, let's be real. At least me, I'm the new kid on the block, if you will, but
I thought you were in Buck Cherry.
That's just a lot of great stories I get to sit around with the boys.
We call it a calculated risk.
Well, nice. I'm grateful that you calculated your risk on me, but the fact that one of the main people that is responsible for me being in this industry is Mr. Callen, and to be able to share this thing with him at this level, and remember where I first got re-engaged with motorcycles and how excited I was to be able to share that with my friends, my family, and dudes call me up and go, bro, how did you land that? I go, listen, I'm not even trying to figure it out. I'm not questioning it. It's just happening. And I'm gonna cross that finish line. That's all there's to it. So, and again, it's about that thread when we all get to look at each other's stuff like kids and be like, wow, look what he did. That's
Look
all
what
that's
he's doing.
bitching.
Look what
Like,
he's doing.
when I saw Chip's oil tank, I was like, fuck, what? Are you kidding?
Me too.
Yeah.
So hey, Howard,
But like I like when I looked at that, the first thing I thought it was like, man, that is just brilliant. And then I thought, how much material did you have to go through
Oh, dear
to
God.
get that final product? Because that's what a lot of people don't understand. The countless hours that not only do we take away from our families and other projects and our businesses that provide the food on our table, to do stuff like that, to create that, and then to sit back and go, yeah, that's bitchin'. And then maybe the next morning you get back and you go, yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to redo that. You're like, oh, come on.
You can't explain this one to your accountant at all.
No.
I'm teaching a CAD class right now. I'm going to show that Chip, if we get together off the side, man, you FaceTime with my class, but they'd like to see what you're doing with that, with all your renderings and whatnot,
Yeah.
Sure.
So couple things. Number one, Howard, I've retained the entire thread. And what would be cool?
I know.
Oh no!
Is you guys vote on it, right?
No.
I would never do this against your wishes.
No.
I'm sure there's a lot of people in the public that would love to see that entire thread.
Oh my
from
gosh,
start to
yeah.
finish.
I'm a yes.
3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Remember that.
Yeah. Some of those are Saturday.
I told you I wouldn't do
says.
anything.
Well,
to
hats off to S&S really for just putting this out there, because I've been fortunate enough to go to the Moon Eye show in December, and then I went and did the Motorbike Expo just this past week in Italy, and those have both been on my bucket list. Never been to either one of them. And the Americana culture is alive and well. Almost they celebrate it better than we do.
Yeah.
And S&S is a huge part of that. You can't go to any one of these shows and not see a bunch of choppers, a bunch of cool builds. I mean, there's 600 motorcycles just in the Moon Eye show, and S&S is everywhere. Okay, so that's like Americana, S&S. It's the same thing. Okay, and then you get the modern version of it, and to take that, Howard, to put this band together and to pick all these people from all these different personalities. And when you look at Chip's oil tank that he's got there, Chip, that motor behind you, that's your motor, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when's the last time you saw Murdered Out Knuckle? That thing almost blends with the black in the background where you're hiding all your cool shit.
Nobody's ever done a Murdered Out Knuckle. Nobody.
It's awesome. No, but if I'm Chip and Mikey, I just do what I want.
Yeah.
That's how I roll.
Right. Oh man.
So Chris,
Hope it
what
works.
would be really cool? We've had a couple of private conversations, and I always try to end it with a question. There are a lot of people watching tonight, and if they're not watching it tonight, they'll watch it streaming. It would be interesting for each of you to just kind of provide a nugget of wisdom, encouragement to other people that are out there. Maybe they're just getting started with their custom builds. Maybe they're just opening up a small shop. But it would be great to hear from you all who have been doing this for so long some words of encouragement, because that's another thing that I think is going to come from this project is a little bit of a resurgence, like you said, Brian. The 50th was phenomenal. The 145 project kind of started it all, but there's been a big void, and you are all pioneers now, helping us kind of restart and rejuvenate this. And the plan is that we will continue to do this annually again. And I already have plans for next year. Little hint is what big thing happens next year? 250 years,
Wow.
right? For our country.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you all know I'm a military man and a patriot. And I just think that there's going to be a lot of fun to be had, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say to the other enthusiasts and builders out there.
Let's get some of those Mark M8 motors down here and break some world records.
Well, Brett, I'll go first. I'll tell you what. Based on the 145 thing, as soon as you say 145, that makes me think of the godfather of customs, and that's Arlen Ness. And I was at a show in Daytona when I was first getting going, and I looked at this guy's bike, and I'm like, oh, man, he stole my idea. I was wanting to do this. And Arlen looked at me, and he goes, Brian, but would you have used those foot pegs? I said, no way. He goes, okay, would you have painted it that color? I said, no, absolutely not. You know better than that. And he goes, well, I know, but that's what I'm talking about. I want to see it Brian Klock's version. He said, put your blinders on and just do it your way. And I think that's the best advice anybody can ever get. You know, you get a guy like, you just mentioned Joe Marshall, okay? Joe Marshall's building choppers, and there's a distinctive look to a Joe Marshall chopper. You know it's Joe's bike, right? And you go to Chip and Mikey, and you want to get an FXR. You go to Teach, and you're looking for some crusty, rusty, and maybe somewhat trusty. You go for it, right?
Yeah.
You look at Mike Beland, and if Mike Beland shows up in anything less than a dragster, I'll be shocked, okay? Because what the hell? That's all he knows is wide freaking open. That's who he is, right? And for Chris to be going, you know, I did all these long bikes, and now I want to do this one. Really? That's shocking to me, and I love it. I love that we're doing something different, but we're all doing it our way. So there you go. That's my advice.
I'll piggyback off that. You know, as a teacher, you always tell your students, you know, like, I'm going to show you some things to do, but you figure out how to do them your way and make sure you're happy with it. And you know, I think anybody out there that's thinking about doing this, just follow your heart, follow your dreams. Don't let anybody say you can't do it. Don't do anything stupid just because, you know, I mean, sometimes that old saying, don't just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know, make sure it's safe, but, you know, try stuff, try different things. And in the end of the day, you're the one that's going to park it in your garage and get up the next morning and go look at it again. So if you love it, that's where your happy place is. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks, because it's your bike, your build. And what's fun about this group we have is we are all, you know, totally different. You know, my bike will probably be in the corner under some hay and some straw to keep, you know, all the mouse turds from falling out of the oil tank. But, you know, it's a fun mix, and we love what we do, and we just do it our way. I mean, like, I'm not trying to do anything different for this to appease anybody. I'm doing this build my way because that's how I build them, and that's how I like them. And so as a new builder, if you're doing, you know, your first build, do it the way you want to, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Teacher, are you going to bring some oil and put it underneath the bike so it looks?
Well, S&S don't leak, so I guess I don't have to worry about
That's
that.
what I said.
I'll bring one of my 46 Nux or something and just set it there.
You're just going to have to bring some
floor
oil
dry
and
under
put it
that
on
one.
the bike, just so you know. We
Yeah.
know you were there.
Mark's
You'll
telling
see
you
my
gotta,
pants.
you gotta
Chris,
pretend.
you know my pants, the same ones I rode to the big mountain.
Oh, that's a statement.
Right?
Yep.
These things are so soaked in oil. I was riding my knuckles across country to go to Big Mountain Run every year. And by the time I get there, like, I could take off my bib overhauls and they'd stand up on their own. They were so crusted up with oil.
Yeah,
and
listen,
Everybody always
those
gave
pants
me
didn't just
a
stand
hell
up
about
on
that,
their
too.
own. Like at nighttime, they walked around the campground by
Yeah, they
themselves.
walked around. I think they were drinking.
Sold everybody's beer. Wasn't me. It was my bibs.
Yeah. Okay.
How about you, Xavier?
You know, once again, I have to look at it like when I started playing drums. You know, for me, acceptance to fail is okay in the beginning, but strive to overcome failure. You know, that's the one thing I was told from the guys that, you know, were my mentors. You're gonna screw up. You're gonna make bad welds. You're gonna blow through shit. You're gonna miss the mark. But if you keep trying, you'll pass that corner. You'll turn that corner, and you'll look at something that you thought about the night before and you couldn't wait to get to your shop to try to do, and it actually worked. You know, to this day, even with this build, especially because a bunch of the stuff on this build I made myself, there was things that I was like, I don't know if that's going to work, man. I really don't. And then when it all came down to it, you know, it did. And I'm the kind of person that has, you know, just a little back, which always drives me, because I want to cross over that hill. And just like, to piggyback on Teach, do it your way. That's why they call it custom. Custom.
Can I get an amen?
Yeah, amen. And that's the greatest thing, that everybody's custom bike for this tour is going to be just that. It is a custom expression of our personalities. And I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, I live by to thine own self be true. If you can't do that.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen.
Mike, how about you?
A long time ago, I built 10 or 15 of those custom chrome bikes in a box. They used to come on a pallet. We go to the big bike show in Worcester, Massachusetts, and Steve Stone, builder since 1968 in business, went to lunch with him, and it was the most amazing lunch. And he's like, you really know what you're doing, but stop building bikes for other people and build them for yourself. Go out on a limb, take a credit card, do what you got to do, build something for yourself. And I got one of the very first Jesse German's lay frames and the Legend frames. And I built a really killer TP, Tom Perone motored, sorry, S&S, but a TP was right down the road in Connecticut. And Tom was a great guy. And we just did a bunch of those billet motors and those chassis. And I actually made it lay frame before Matt Hotch did and built something crazy for myself. And I recently got that bike back from 2003. It's in my garage right now.
Right on.
Nice.
You have to do it for yourself. Like everybody has said, the guys that copy the trends and follow the trends, where are they now? Haven't heard of them. I've never built a big wheel bagger. We've built a couple performance baggers, but that's performance. That's all about going fast and making more power. So I'm all about that. But the bikes that come in here daily for dyno tuning are the mail order, tick off the box. I want these brakes, these rotors, it's the cookie cutter trend that's going on nowadays, which is like the cookie cutter trend with the vintage bikes and the chopper kids with the rolled up pants and the boots. You know what I mean? So build it for yourself, the way you want to do it and how you want to do it, and make it look the way you want to do it. Like Chris said, like Xavier and Chris said, you got to go look at it in the morning, get on and ride it. So make it yours, make it stand out.
Yeah, you said something that really resonated. If you're following the trend, you're never going to be a trendsetter.
Performance choppers is the new trend.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Cover mounted.
Performance choppers.
That's it. Right
there. Carbon fiber wheels, big brakes, big motors, modern motors, fuel injection. You'll get there. Don't worry, S&S will get there.
How about Mikey?
I just put a magneto on my bike. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I saw those pictures, Teach.
Mikey, how about you?
We all saw that teacher went like this.
Peach, you ain't a man unless you get a thumb button to kill it on the handlebar. That's the only way to kill that bag.
Yeah. Fred Flintstone, baby.
Yeah, all I got is I got to piggyback on what everyone else has said in the trend thing. You can't follow the trends. Big wheel thing, fat wheel thing, stretch bags, this, that. Everyone does the same shit.
Garbage.
It is. It's garbage. I mean, we're all going to give the same advice. You got to do what you like. Like, that's why everybody's here, because everybody has their own distinct style. Everyone's style really represents what pretty much how everybody is, in a certain way. So that's why everyone's here. We all got the same. We all got that same mindset. I guess that's going to be the same advice from everybody, pretty much. To don't follow the trends and just build what you like, do what you like, build what is you, so
yeah,
that's all I got.
Chip?
I mean, same shit, except for.
So you guys, your originality is starting to dissipate, guys. You're all saying the same thing.
Well, here's how I see it. I mean, in the end, none of it matters at all. So do whatever it takes to make yourself happy. If you can't figure something out, ask a question. Nobody was born with all this shit in their head. Everybody learns. Nobody knows everything. So following the trends, this goes back to my Instagram thing with, you can go on Instagram or Facebook and everything looks the same. That sucks. And so I hope that this inspires people to do something different and step outside the box. Now, mind you, like I do have to say that, you know, we still do all the same shit that we have been doing, not doing this style custom bike. You know, we still build big motors. We still take, you know, M8s and turn them into street performance bikes. You know, the term performance bagger is getting thrown around, and it's become very loose to where now it's just, hey, I've got a cam and a seat and I have a performance bike. It's like, you know, sorry guys, there's a lot more to this shit, you know. And like, once again, it comes into, you'll never see some of these half-ass companies in a real performance scenario because they're half-ass companies. And I'm applying that across the board. I don't care what we're talking about, whether we're talking about foot pegs, whether we're talking about suspension, whether we're talking about risers, it doesn't matter. There's a certain level of quality has to be met to be in the performance world. There's a certain level of quality that has to be met when you build a custom motorcycle. There's a certain level of quality that has to be met basically across the board, or, you know, once again, you just everything starts to look the same. Everything is like, oh, look at that guy's bike. It's awesome. It's period correct, but it doesn't fucking work, and it's falling apart, and dude pulls over every, you know, half mile. It's like, there has to be, people have to know what they're doing. And I get not everybody can know what they're doing, but that's what shops are for. So, you know, my advice to everybody is just do whatever the fuck you want. Nothing matters, and be happy.
I'm going to use that in my classroom.
Yeah. Chris, how about you? You've been silent for a while because you're hosting.
Teach, I'd probably, first of all, Teach, you should definitely word that differently. Maybe,
okay.
Maybe get the same point across, but
no, don't.
I'm just.
How old are your students?
They're 9th through 12th graders, high school.
Believe me, they say fuck.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah. Just tell them time's not real. Nothing really matters. We're all gonna die. Just do what the fuck you want.
When they start talking bad, I just fire up an old bike and do a burnout in the shop, and then everybody's cool again.
They can't breathe.
We're all just dust in the wind.
So here's my advice is going to be a little bit different. So my advice is slow down. You see so many people today, and I think this goes into so much of the shit that goes on looks the same, because everybody's in such a hurry to get that instant gratification from social media, or get out to the show and get everybody blowing smoke up their ass about how great everything is. You miss the essential part of this, that is the doing. Like, that is, for me, being in the shop and walking over to a tool or putting something in my hands, and the actual doing is the essence of all of this. Like, if you rush past that, you've missed the best part of this. So just slow down. Social media will be there. Everybody will kiss your ass in 10 extra minutes from now. You'll get, if you don't make it to Daytona, you can make it to Donnie Smith, or you make it to the next thing with it. But enjoy that. Like Hunter Thompson, buy the ticket, take the ride. Take that whole ride. Take in every
Unless
minute.
you're building a bike for S&S, and then we got to have it done by the 28th. No joke.
It needs to be there the 27th, Brian. Not to stretch things, but it needs to be there
I
the
feel
27th.
like Chris was
I
already
knew that.
developing.
I just wanted to see if Howard was still with us or not.
I think Hunter Thompson's ride was a different kind of ride.
Oh yeah.
I knew that was coming.
I'm just saying.
I sure hope that Chris was not developing an excuse matrix to be late.
No, but seriously,
You still have 24 overnight mail.
Seriously, it's just I see too many people rushing this shit and not getting everything out of it.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Can I ask Teach to turn around and show the back of his shirt?
Absolutely. Hang on, let me get you in there, Teach. Hang on. Yeah.
In case
baby.
anybody hasn't seen the logo yet for this, turn.
There you go.
Now, those of you who've been around S&S for 29 and 30 years probably remember part of that logo.
Yes.
We wanted to bring that back to kind of kick off the vintage aspect of it. So,
yeah, man.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Easy there, Pedro.
Okay, well, that's not on the T-shirt, but that's okay.
Lighten up, Francis.
Hey, knuckleheads forever.
There you go. There's that logo.
There it is.
Go. There he is.
So
Fun stuff.
Love that logo.
Yeah. So those
Well,
actually, if we
here's
go
what I
over-
want to share to the people out there. Some of you have been to S&S and taken tours, and when I was there, we had 3 banners that were in our facilities, and they had 3 different sayings. One was, to a winner, a defeat is nothing more than a pause between victories. And I think a lot of you spoke to that, right? You just keep moving, you keep trying. The other was, leave the easy stuff for someone else, right? If it's easy, everybody's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, if you can't do it as a team, it's not worth doing. And what I have seen in the conversations and the private group text is you guys are all teammates, even though you're doing your own thing, and it will be completely unique. The encouragement, cheering each other on, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, that is something that was my greatest memory from the 145 project. And some of you may remember, Arlen was not one of the original members of the 145 project. Ron Sims was.
Thug Custom Cycles.
Yep. And Ron, for whatever reason, after we unveiled everything in Daytona, he bowed out. I think there was some real rivalry between him and some other individuals. And Arlen, who was like an uncle to me, he stepped in and he says, "You know what, Brett? I'll do it." And within a very, very short period of time, he made up for that. And that stuck with me, right? Because prior to that, all the other builds were all about heavy duty competition, and it was pretty fierce. And it really became bringing people together. So I want to thank you all again and commend you for being willing to take the risk and to trust Howard and to trust the team and to trust S&S to do this project. And I'm going to tell you, when I was talking to the management team a year ago, and a lot of those people are not with S&S anymore, this is the feedback that I got. Well, that's stupid. People don't do that stuff in the industry anymore. That's old news. And my response was, and I don't say this to be presumptuous or arrogant, but my response was, the reason it's not being done anymore is because we are not facilitating it, and we are not going out on a limb and taking the risk and making it happen. But there is no way that we can or would do it without you builders. So I am indebted to you personally and very, very thankful for all of you. And I cannot wait to see how many smiles you put on other people's faces and the smiles and the camaraderie that you guys have together. So thank you very, very much. And Chris, thank you for hosting this evening. Thank you to Dennis Kirk for sponsoring this. We are all very, very excited. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think this is going to help really kind of rejuvenate the industry, especially vintage builds. So that's where I'm coming from. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can't say it better than that, huh? There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks, Howard. Thanks, Brett. You know, we're all in the same boat here. We're just like, wow, you know, we're blessed.
Very.
Hey guys, just so you know, when this show's over, there's still time to get back to work on the bikes.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah, what'd you say, Mike? 24 overnights?
24 overnights.
Yeah, I heard there's a couple crusty parts in a barn down the street. I got to run and find out tonight if they're in there.
Nice.
Or hope the owners of that barn know you're going in.
All right. Well, listen, with that, I'm going to thank each one of you guys for tuning in tonight, giving us so much of your time, because I know everybody's crazy busy. Howard, Brett, everyone at S&S, thank you from all of us for letting us be part of this, and I look forward to seeing all you guys in Daytona.
Amen.
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
Have a good night, everybody.
Heather and S&S,
See ya.
with Cycle Source doing this, we appreciate you too putting all this on here and getting the word out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris.
All right, guys, we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, Chris.
We are super stoked that this was the entire show tonight for the S&S 6 this evening. The Vintage Tour coming up, launches in Daytona. Do not miss this. We'll be bringing you a bunch of coverage of it. But hey, for right now, you are watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network. I'm your host, Chris Callen. Glad to be here with you. Don't go anywhere because we still have some show coming up right after this. This right here. Right here.
Chris and Heather with Cycle Source Magazine, and we are so stoked to announce that we're coming to the 2025 Qatar Bada Bike Show.
I'm so excited. 27 plus years publishing American motorcycles, and now we're crossing the pond to see how they do it.
And man, I got to tell you, like seeing some of these bikes from previous shows and the stuff that's getting posted already, this is going to be a show where the best of the best come out to compete.
I think we may end up doing a whole issue on Qatar just based on the bikes that I'm seeing. What do you think?
It's something else. Super excited about this. I mean, in my time of riding, you know, I've ridden in 49 of the 50 states. I've ridden in most of the province of Canada. I've ridden in Europe a couple times, but this is going to be a whole new thing, man.
Oh, how cool would it be to say that we rode a motorcycle in Qatar? Think we'll be able to? Yes.
But a bit, here we come.
Riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape. There's a flow to the road you share, so go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
I'm Brian Klock from Clockworks in Mitchell, South Dakota, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You're watching Shop Talk here like we do every Sunday night at 9 p.m. on the East Coast. What an amazing show, Mark. What do you even say about all that? Like, it is something that has been missing from this whole scene for so long now.
No, we talked about it multiple times, how people want to build a bike that they can't afford to buy the parts for. I think S&S bringing a lot of this back in play for people is awesome. Number two, seeing what everybody's doing, you know, the different flavors, I guess you'd say, of everybody's builds is going to be super cool to see all in the same place. Yep. And I'm going to say, in that little thing you had there for the bike show you guys are going to, I thought you were going to the Sopranos strip club. I didn't know. I thought it was Bada Bing.
No,
not
Bada.
Not told me what you're doing.
Not Bada Bing.
I was going to a strip club with you. I was a little lost there, so you know, super cool that you're gonna get to go do that. Dude, what S&S is doing is off the charts. I mean, they're sort of bringing some nostalgia back.
Kieran said, "Turn up your audio. Move your mic closer."
I think it needs it. So I think this needs to be brought back to, you know, what S&S is doing. It's great that all those people are back in play with them. Big difference for them. I think is going to be something here in the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's just really good. It's good to see that kind of excitement because, like they said, a whole bunch of us have been watching the last number of years, and it just seems like a lot of the same motorcycles, the same shit's going on, the same things. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I appreciate, like, you know, even though it's not something that I'm doing, the guys from San Diego Customs putting a knucklehead into an FXR and
rubber mounting it.
And trust me, when you see it, it's different than even what you're going to think when I say that. Like,
yeah.
So
I love that for you personally, what you've learned and that you're taking your time to nuance and massage all the parts of this motorcycle to make it that gentleman's cut down, which is completely outside of what everybody would expect you to do.
It's been a real
It's
neat
been a
trip
treat
for
to
us.
watch you go through that and to watch you share it with some of the people that are working on it with you and helping you. It's been a real treat. Now, if we could just get it across the finish line without you having a stroke, I'll be so happy.
Me too.
I think the cool part about that is, I mean, for all these years, all the different bikes we built, the goofy stuff that we've done, you've always said, oh man, I really want to build that gentleman's. Really want to build that back to, you know, what it was, and then would get it in the shop and you'd be like, what do you think of that? What do you
I'm going to chop
grab that
it.
Sawzall. Yeah, right. So, and then next thing you know, it's in 9 pieces and the front wheel's 8 feet away.
Yep.
You know,
And
super cool to see you doing this. Yeah, it's impressive because we have like this little thread of a few people that me and Chris have that or he's sending pictures and stuff too, and to the feedback just in that little thread is what you're doing is stepping outside of your realm and showing that your talents are much more than you thought they were, put it that way.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
cool.
super cool.
That's very cool.
Wow.
You know, I want to give a shout out real quick because there's a number of you guys watching tonight. Like I'll read Tiger Ward's. Y'all need to pat yourself on the back for the show you've brought us tonight. It's well deserved. It means so much to us to hear that kind of response for what we do here with Shop Talk, because believe it or not, like we're constantly searching to try to put stuff together that is going to be interesting for you guys and fun for you guys, you know. And when you're doing an hour and a half show every week, man, like it gets to be hard. It gets hard, and you know, knowing that the stuff that we're doing, the perspective that we're putting to it matters to you guys, it makes all this worthwhile. So thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Yep. And if
So
one more
good.
person asked me this week, how's Mark? What's going on with Mark? Is Mark going to be here this week? Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mark.
you know, Marsha. So it's been a crazy couple weeks, but like Chris and Heather were saying, this is something we've all been in the industry a really long time, and sometimes I look and think to myself, this is almost one of the coolest things that we've ever done.
Yeah.
You know, I think that cyber rally was totally off the charts.
Oh,
That was
Jesus.
so
Do
good.
you remember?
I
how-
know, dude, it was nuts for 24 hours.
That was
But to be
5
a
years
part of
ago.
This, I know, dude, it was like, feels like 10 years ago. But to be a part of this, it's like every week you still get to, you know, touch base with everybody and
Mm-hmm.
speak, you know, tell everybody how you feel. And again, like me and Chris were having this conversation, not only today, we've had it 50 times. Part of the, you know, you're not getting bullshitted here. Like we've been around a long time, and we're not going to feed anything to you that we don't believe, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's another big part of it. You know, thank you for all letting us be who we are, because that means a lot.
And it's all we
suck
got.
sometimes.
It's all we got, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to be somebody else.
Right, exactly.
Troy remembers Cyber Rally.
That was so good.
Right?
Oh, dude.
You can't come now. Forget you.
You can't come now.
You
Forget
can't
you.
come now. Forget you.
All right, so listen, man. This is the time of the evening where we let Heather be the star. It's,
no.
It's Heather time.
Oh gosh.
Shop Talk is brought to you by Cycle Fish. Cycle Fish, the most complete list of motorcycle events in the U.S.
Easy with the
Events for 2000,
Italian.
Alex.
Easy with the Italian.
Next weekend, Cycle Showcase St. Louis edition, February 8th and 9th, 2025, at the City Foundry. Visit cycleshowcasestl.com for more information.
Oh,
Also next weekend, Chopper Fest, February 9th at the Ventura County Fairgrounds, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get more information at chopperfestival.com. If you are in Florida next weekend, I highly suggest checking out the Callen's Memorial Ride. Be Callen Strong.
Be Callen Strong.
Our buddy Mike Woodyshek puts us on in memory of his son. It's a great event. It does a whole lot of good. You can get more information at becollenstrong.com. Flat Out Friday, February 21st, 2025 at the Pfizer Forum, indoor flat track racing. Mama Tried Motorcycle Show in beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Eagles Ballroom next weekend. You can get more information at Mama Tried Motorcycle Show. No Class Bike Show hosted by Corey Souza at the Broken Spoke Saloon, Saturday, March 1st. Check it out. I think we'll be there. Sunday, the following day, again at the Broken Spoke Saloon, our favorite venue of Daytona Bike Week, Warren Lane's True Grit Motorcycle Show. We're super happy that he lets us be a part of that, and it's a great way to spend the day. Tuesday, March 4th, our 18 millionth Daytona Cycle Source Custom Bike Show. It's going to be great. Chris and I were working on the trophies for that today. Awards in 27 classes. Best of Show gets a full feature in Cycle Source magazine. Hey!
What the hell? Stop saying.
18 gabillionth.
18 gabillionth. It's a great time. Come hang out with us. We hope to see you there. Thursday, March 6th, greatest chopper show on earth at Willie's Tropical Tattoo in Ormond Beach, Florida. All proceeds go to the Veteran Support Fund. The Prowl, March 15th in Bisbee, Arizona. Check it out, The Prowl, on Facebook, Instagram.
.com.
I don't know if it's a .com. You can check. Donnie Smith Motorcycle Extravaganza, the Midwest Motorcycle Extravaganza at the St. Paul River Center, March 29th through 30th, 2025. You'll be able to see Chris and I there, along with the S&S Cycle 6 motorcycles.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Booyah! That's good. That's not a son of a biscuit eater.
Listen, man. I hit the wrong button. It happens, Heather. Sometimes I don't push the right button.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know what? I got a new button for that. There it is.
Hogs for Hope.
Asked 100 people if they care what you just said. Survey says.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hogs for Hope, Sunday, April 27th at the JFK Marina in Yonkers, New York. All proceeds benefit the Ronald McDonald House and the Aiden Jack Seeger Foundation.
You okay?
Yeah, why? Huh? What?
Born Free.
In Silverado, California, June 21st and 20. I can't even say that word right anymore.
You was Silverado.
June 21st and 22nd. We will be there again, along with the S&S Cycle Six. Booyah! It's actually the S&S Vintage Tour. I should stop changing their name.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
Look at that.
Look who the poster boy is. Look who the look.
Painful.
Look at it. Look at it, Mark.
But Mark, tell me Squindo did not knock that. Squindo, did he nail it or what?
I laughed. That fits him like a glove.
First try, even right down to the white sunglasses. So good.
I got a few other things that should be in there, but obviously they can't be. So.
Yeah, a tray of Jaeger shots.
A tray of something.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, if you have an event, it has to be a motorcycle event, send it on to us. We'll put it on the show, and you can listen to Heather read it.
Yeah, I'll do my best. No promises.
All right,
Radar,
man.
send it to Willie's. 825 South Young Street, Ormond Beach, Florida, 32174.
So, been a fantastic show. Lots and lots and lots to do. Just to remind you guys, if you want to keep up with everything we're doing with the S&S build, there's one place to go to check it out all the time.
Grease and Gears TV.
That's right. You can go to Grease and Gears TV, watch it on your television in your living room, watch it on your anything else, on your computer, on your phone,
iPad,
the whole
tablet,
deal.
whatever.
But you can see the videos just like this of all the stuff we're doing with the S&S build. If you don't, you got to wait for it to come out and post, and that sucks.
And I don't think, Chris, you're not going to be posting any more product progress pictures, correct? Like it's a surprise for everybody from here?
No, but we have everything from like we to where we're at now. We have episodes coming out. So
there's going to be so many episodes.
There's plenty. Yep.
Okay. Say good night, Francis.
Listen. Asked 100 people if they want to let Heather end the show. Survey says. I love that new button. I can tell you don't. So, when's 312 hit the shelves?
Yeah, subscribers are getting it. So like another week or two.
Yep.
Gordon, did you get your copies?
Mistake earlier. Mama Tried show is February 22nd, 23rd.
I didn't make a mistake. She said it was the 28th.
Who did?
Becky. She posted it earlier in the show. She was doing events way before we were.
Robin Higginbottom. Circle gets the square. All right, so listen, man. Thank you guys for being here with us. Again, thanks to S&S, all the builders, for joining in tonight to make this a really kick-ass show. And Mark, good luck with the Impala this week. I'm looking for some progress pictures. Chris is the worst James Bond. What does that mean?
When did you do James Bond?
I don't know.
We had a 2-hour show tonight. Oh my gosh.
Oh, 00.
I'm going to turn into a
007.
pumpkin.
All right, so listen, till next week.
Double R.
Double R radar. Double R.
Gary, I'm so happy for you guys. I love you guys both.
Yeah,
so exciting. Congratulations.
Gary and Annie for getting married today.
Nice.
For us, that's it. We're going to wrap this up. Remember, set your alerts. Sunday, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. We go live with another episode of Shop Talk. Until then, keep each other safe. Do something with your motorcycle. Get ready for Daytona, or at least get ready for next Sunday when we'll come back. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
S&S, Felicia.
That's it.